Good morning, welcome, I'm Susan. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do an amaretto chocolate brownie. Now I've made these before. My husband says it's the best brownie he's ever had, but you can be the judge of that on your own. Now amaretto is it's like an almond liqueur. Now if you don't want to use the liqueur, you can use almond extract, but different quantity. You'll have to cut back on that. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees and I have melted 2 sticks of butter and 8 ounces of semi-sweet, well this is dark chocolate. So we're going to put that over there for the time being. Now we're going to have to get some flour mixture together. The recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups of flour. So I happen to have some freshly milled flour here. So I'm going to measure out 1 cup of that. I don't know if you can see that. See the milled flour. You still see the bran and stuff in it. So we're going to measure out 1 cup. Now if you are using an all-purpose flour, you can follow the recipe precisely. So I've got in my sifter 1 cup. Like I said, it calls for 1 1/4, but since I'm using freshly milled flour, I'm going to do 1 1/4 and an extra quarter, making it 1 1/2. So there's 1/4. And here's another quarter. Okay, so there we've got our flour.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Are you having fun?
You're waiting for the chocolate, aren't you?
I am. But get me a glass of water too.
Okay, good idea. Now, let's see, I want baking powder. That's the water dispenser you hear in the background. Kind of makes a little noise. I want to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder to the flour. So we're going to do that. And it calls for a pinch, just a pinch of salt. So we're going to put a pinch of salt in there. And we're going to sift this. As you can see today, I'm wearing a sweater. That's because it's turned cold here in Gonvick, Minnesota. I mean cold. It was down to what, 40 or something?
Yeah.
And they're saying that Sunday, today's Friday, they're saying Sunday we could have snow flurries. I'm just not ready for that yet. Not ready at all. You know, there was a lot of bran in that flour. I think I'm going to add a little more flour. Dump this. As you can see, there's a lot of bran in that flour when you sift it.
Hold it over here, Susie.
So you can see it. So I'm going to dump this out and add just a little more flour. Okay. I think I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons more of flour. I think that'll do it then. Make up for all that bran that we had in there.
That flour, by the way, is a soft white.
Soft wheat berry.
Yeah, soft white.
Is it white or just a soft wheat berry? Soft wheat berry, okay.
Soft white.
Soft white wheat. I'm going to add a little more. Get a lot of bran out of this one. Okay.
But it doesn't look like the other flour because it's not bleached. And because it's it's the whole grain that we mill that's much better for you than,
Oh, absolutely.
than the bleach flour that you buy.
Okay, so we've got that done. Now, into this bowl, I'm going to crack 4 eggs. Now, these are room temperature eggs. Always when you bake, please, room temperature eggs. And kind of messy here. So anyway, I was getting ready to tell you that, yeah, Sunday morning we could have some snowflakes flying around here. And it's that time of the year where things are going to get kind of messy and cold. Okay, now I'm going to mix these eggs a little, just whisk them a little. Get them broken up. And let's see, what else does it say? We want to do that. We've got the baking powder, whisk the eggs, sugar. I've got 2 cups of granulated sugar. I'm going to pour that in there. And we're going to get the amaretto. Alright. Now here I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of amaretto. Now don't panic because the alcohol will cook out of this. But like I said, if you don't want to use the amaretto, you can certainly use like a teaspoon of almond extract. There's 1. There's 2. Okay, we're going to mix that together. Get that all stirred up. Mix together. Now I melted my chocolate and butter together, and I'm going to dump it in here. But I'm going to do it quickly because I want to temper this. I cooled the chocolate mixture slightly, but you never know, so I keep moving it around because we don't want scrambled eggs and chocolate. Okay, scrape some of that out of there. Set that over here, dispose that later. Okay, so now we've got our mixture going here, the eggs, the sugar, the amaretto. Now we're going to add our flour. I'm going to do this a little at a time here. Just mix it up good. I can smell that amaretto. It smells like almonds. Okay. Get this all mixed up and then we'll put it in a baking dish and bake it. Well, you get a workout on this. Here we're coming. I guess you could probably do this with an electric mixer. Might have been the thing to do, actually. Now I've got 1.5 cups of chopped walnuts that I'm going to add to this. Pour those in there. Get them all mixed together. Make sure I got everything up off the bottom. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. I'm going to show you I have, the recipe says to use a 9x9 square pan. I don't have one. I've done this before and I used an 8x8, but I couldn't fit all the batter into it. So today I've done a 9x13. We'll make thinner brownies and more. I buttered my pan, okay? Then I loaded it with parchment paper and buttered the parchment paper. We want this to come out clean. So we're gonna get my spatula ready here. We're going to pour this into the pan. You can see how thick it is. These are thick brownies. Oh my gosh, and they're tasty, tasty, tasty. Look at that. Chocolate, nuts. What could be better? How much better than chocolate and nuts is there, Will?
No.
Nothing at all.
This is it.
This is it. Yep, I'm going to scrape all the goodness out of the bottom of the bowl here. That bowl gets a little heavy, that glass bowl. But then maybe I'm just a little weakling. Okay, now I'm going to kind of smooth this out. I made a mess on the counter there. So we're going to smooth this out, get it into the corners. And I'm going to put this in the oven. Like I said, I've got it at 350. And we're going to bake it for, what's it say? For 40 to 45 minutes. Let me wipe my finger off here. So I'm going to put this in the oven and we're going to be back in about 40-45 minutes. Okay, our brownies are out of the oven and they've cooled slightly. So I'm going to lift them out. I think I'll do it this way. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to cut them. Get one cut here. Make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. That's why I greased the parchment on the bottom side of the parchment and on the top side so that they come out off the paper easily. And there you have. Nice, huh? That's your amaretto chocolate brownie. They look delicious. Well, I think I'll just finish that one off. Until next time, blessings to you and your family.